Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bold Explorer, and
I'm Julia, not the Bold Explorer.
Julia's joining me on today's walk, which is great. And actually, hopefully, you're going to join me on some of these, continuing the Sussex border walk. And as you know, I got up in the last episode up to Goring.
Yes.
And in the lovely Ilex Way.
Which was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, all those Quercus Ilexes.
Yes,
I
Quercus Ilex.
Didn't mention that in the previous video.
I told you when I watched.
Yeah. Julia corrects me on these things. You didn't say Quercus. That's okay. So now the plan today was to go a little bit further afield, but the weather has not been the most conducive.
No, and that somewhat restricts and limits options for filming.
Because it's misty.
Yes, for visibility reasons.
The mist has rolled in, as you will no doubt see. So where are we, Julia?
We are in Goring.
We are, South Goring. So I was up at the town by the Bull Inn, come down another footpath, another avenue, but I don't know that this was planted at the same time. It might have been, who knows. But anyway, this leads down to the sea by all these wonderful trees, as you mentioned, but also the winter foliage is out.
Yes, and the hart's tongue ferns.
Yes, I spotted that and learnt it when I was in Arundel, do you remember?
Yes, and because you did on the videos, I've now learnt it.
Excellent.
Yay.
So we're going to head down to the coast and see what that's like and try and get across to Ferring.
Yes, wonderful.
Okay, come on in. Oh, I tell you what, Julia.
What's that?
It is freezing cold.
You didn't need to tell me that.
No.
I'm well aware.
Yes, and this is one of the things I think we're going to find as I continue on the Sussex border walk, going through winter.
Yes, you're going to be mighty cold.
I'm going to be wrapped up as a vulnerable snowman.
A vulnerable snowman, I thought you said.
Well, very vulnerable. So we've come out from the avenue that we've come down to the seafront here, and behind us really is Goring Gap, and on the green sward there a lot of things go on, kite surfing.
Yes, right now, for instance.
People come down and have picnics, similar to the green sward at Goring that I featured in an earlier one.
And I'll tell you what, it's very busy today.
Yeah, it's a Monday. I suppose we're still filming during lockdown, so people are coming out. But despite the cold...
There's tons of dog walkers out. I suppose the dogs need to get out, but yeah.
They do. This whole stretch, and in the distance we can just about see the pier.
Yes.
This whole stretch in the south here is shingle. And I know that in the past there have been ships that have dropped their loads of coal.
Oh yes.
And sea coal has come up. I was looking.
Washed up over the years, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm looking to see if I could find any, but I haven't seen any whilst we've been down here.
Well, now we're looking, we won't see any.
No, of course. Now further inland, just a little bit here in Goring Gap, there was, and I don't know the period, and perhaps somebody else can help me out. There are these roads, and when you look at the roads, you notice in the fields, and it's almost like, why would you put roads there? Because there's nothing there. There's fields, and they don't seem to do anything.
Yeah.
But I gather that there was a plan to develop. There's not much of a lung between Goring and Ferring, and they were going to develop and put houses in there, and they laid the foundations for the roads. I don't know why they stopped, whether there was protests or they ran out of money. Perhaps someone can tell us.
I don't know the why for either.
No, but that's it is very interesting. Before we head up that way, we've just been doing a little bit of beach combing.
Yes.
I think it's quite fun. You often see down on this stretch metal detectors, not so much in the winter, but...
I wonder why.
Yeah, and when the tide goes out, you'll see the people collecting lugworms and things like that. But just scattered on the beach, lots of things. You've already been looking for some stuff.
We didn't find any sea coal. Found lots of sea chalk.
Sea chalk, yeah.
Chalk.
Great chunks of it, actually.
Yeah.
And you do wonder where the sea chalk has come from, because the Downs is actually quite a distance.
I wonder if it gets pulled up just from when they dredge and dump.
Oh, yeah.
Dredge and dump the stuff. It might be just embedded. I don't know.
Don't know. It just,
I'm not a geologist.
no, it churns itself up, but it's fascinating.
But there's the classic cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish.
Cuttlebone, rather. It's the flotation device in the.
How big? I don't know what a cuttlefish is.
It's a type.
Or how big it is.
It's a type of squid, but it's in the octopus family.
Oh,
so
right.
it's a very intelligent animal. Actually, they're very lovely.
All I know is you give those to
That's the front image.
budgerigars and things.
Yes, because it's good calcium, and it's also good for filing down beaks and. Also for tortoises.
Tortoises.
Yeah.
What are tortoises? Oh, for their
beaks. They've pretty much got a beak as well.
Gosh.
Look, the little baby one died.
Oh, poor little thing.
Yes.
The other thing that is, of course, in this coastline was renowned for the seaweed, and a long time ago, and maybe people can again help us out. Sorry, I'm looking this way because the tide is actually coming in.
It's going to creep over that little bank of stones in a minute.
Yeah, we are quite vulnerable here. There used to be heaps of seaweed would come in, and the farmers would take it away. And then I gather the council decided to charge the farmers for the seaweed because it made good fertiliser.
Yeah, free fertiliser.
So the farmers said, sod that. We're not going to take it, and so then the council had the problem of getting rid of the seaweed.
Yeah.
At the moment, there's not a lot of it, but we've been looking.
Some kelpie type.
So many different varieties
There are.
and colours. You know, you think of seaweed as just this green thing, but when you start looking amongst it, it's actually very beautiful.
Very lovely little complete plant. It's ready.
Red and green.
Yeah, it's very, very fascinating.
And of course, people eat seaweed, don't they, for their health?
Yes, you can fry it and sprinkle it with sugar.
Not for me.
The devil's food.
Yes.
But the seaweed itself is quite tasty.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like a little fern.
It's
really
amazing.
stringy and soft and furry?
Yes.
Not furry, but kind of.
Nice texture.
Yeah.
And then you've got this.
And then we've got this very beautiful little mermaid's purse. I can't even see where the... Oh, there. I think it came out there.
And what is it, a bivalve? I
don't know what they actually call it, but it's essentially a womb.
Oh, right. So
It's
that is from a... What does that come from?
It's a type of shark or catfish or something like that.
Oh, I see. It's a fish.
I'm
That's
not
not a seaweed.
No, it's not a seaweed. It's actually from a sea creature.
Do you know, I've always saw those and thought that was just a type of seaweed.
No, the animal would attach this to some seaweed for the pup or the baby to gestate.
Oh, right.
That's about as much as I know about it.
Well, it's certainly more than I knew.
Yeah.
It is getting absolutely freezing.
It is.
And I think it's going to rain.
Yes.
Shall we take shelter?
Yes.
I think a cup of tea in the van is the best policy.
Sounds good.
Come on. And we'll get us warmer, I promise. We've taken refuge in the van.
Yeah. It's a lot warmer in here. Noticeably, decidedly different.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? There's no actual heating in here other than our bodies and the little cooker which we've had to heat the kettle with, the water with. But I've got coffee, you've got tea. I felt that was going to be a little poem then. I've got coffee, you've got tea. Will you jump up on my knee? But you're a bit big for that.
Yeah.
It's very cold, so I don't think we can get much further along in today's video, to be honest with you. It's pretty cold. It's threatening rain. It's looking miserable.
But you did what you didn't think you were going to get done today.
That I didn't think I was going to get anything done. I mean, the mist actually did clear a bit, didn't it?
A little.
Yeah, because this was rolling in it. When we drove up, I mean, you could barely see anywhere. I mean, it's quite deceptive.
Yes, you can definitely see those benches a little bit better than you could before.
So I think the thing about the next video for me to mention is that we've got Ferring coming up. Now, I've walked Ferring before, so I'm probably not going to do Ferring. And Kingston. And Kingston is a private place. There are footpaths that you can go through, and one could do that. But as you can see, I'm filming in stages, and although I call it a walk, it's a sort of van walk.
It's a hop in the van, move along a bit, and then walk some more.
Exactly. So I'm not one of those people that film, walking with a camera and you're filming every step. I'm not doing that.
That's very admirable, but it's not what you do.
It's not. Yes, exactly. That's not how I'm doing it. So I don't think I'm going to bother that, because also I'm interested in the old maps. And if you look at the old maps for this area, really go back 100 years, and there was nothing. It was just farmland, and all the modern stuff in Kingston Gorse and down on the seafront in Ferring. There's not very much. There's the odd flint cottage and what have you. So I think the next thing for me to do is to move to the next bit, where there is development 100 years ago, and one can reference the heritage, because it's the heritage, the landscape, and as we did as we did today, a bit of the nature, like with the seaweed. So I think that's the next part at East Preston, and there's some interesting properties there. So I'm hoping that the weather tomorrow will be a bit better than today. So yeah.
Wood.
So for the moment, we're having a cup of coffee. We're, and this is the way the walk is going to go, isn't it? There's going to be days we just can't get what we need to be done, because
unfortunately that's the case.
It's winter. It's winter in the UK.
Nature rules the roost in this way.
And I don't want my little hand shrivelling up. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Julia, for joining me. But I'm sorry it hasn't been the greatest of walks today.
I'm just grateful to have gotten out and taken a walk with you, and hugged a few trees. Yes. Well, that's it. So, itchy nose. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, become a patron, support what we do. We'll get round this. And also, as I leave Worthing in this area, I'm not going to be so intensely well researched, because this is all going to be quite new to me. Yes, I was going to say you'll be off home turf.
Yeah, so the historian version of me will disappear into the more explorer, speculative person.
Into the ether.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say.
Could have done, should have done.
Could have done.
Didn't. So we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now. Bye bye.